What's up guys, you got PokeaimMD here with the next part of the OU Road to Rank 1 in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. Now, last episode wasn't the most fun episode for me. I think we got 3 losses back to back off of misses, crits, and more misses. So we're using a team today that doesn't have any inaccurate moves. I'm lying, it actually has a ton of inaccurate moves. Nah, it doesn't. It only has Focus Blast on LELE, which is not always necessary. It was based on the team itself. And it has Toxic on Mantine, which we are going to miss several times. However, that's nothing I can do. If I'm using a Mantine, I got to use Toxic on it. But the rest of the team, nothing but 100% accurate moves. Alright? We out here not trying to miss. We are probably losing some Medichams, but we out here not trying to miss. Anyway. Thank you everybody for all the support on the recent episodes and all the episodes of the Road to Rank 1 and the Road to Top 10. Of course, if you guys do enjoy this episode, I would love if you leave a like. If we could get 1,000 likes, that'd be great. Only if you enjoy though. So Inami passed me this team, and apparently he got some sort of, he was telling me he got like a 17 win streak and, you know, number 17, and high up on the ladder as well, which is cool. I don't mind that. You don't. The team itself looked like a pretty nice little balance going on, so let's get right into the team preview. Alright, so the first member of the team is an offensive MAGNEZONE. This is something I have not used since probably ORAS, I think, ORAS OU. Offensive MAGNEZONE kind of fell off. You usually see Fizdef, that way it can better take on Zygarde, as well as Bulu and Pokemon like that, but this is an offensive MAGNEZONE, which actually works pretty decently for the team. Because the idea of the team is to either break for KYUREM-B or get rid of Scizor's answers for Scizor. So it makes sense that you want an offensive Scizor on a team designed to let Scizor win. So it's max attack, adamant nature, 16 speed allows you to outspeed other min speed Scizor, some variations of Mawile as well, and as well as some 0 speed MAGNEZONE, Celesteela, Pokemon like that. We have Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, Knockoff, and Roost. Knockoff is really good on this team, especially because the team has Pokemon like MAGNEZONE to trap Celesteela, trap Skarmory, to trap Ferrothorn. So that really, those two go hand in hand because, especially in Skarmory's case, if you're running versus a stall build, they might actually have a Shed Shell. So it's just an offensive SD Scizor. It's the Bulu check still, and Bullet Punch should be doing a ton. I'm actually going to be probably running a bunch of calcs with this thing just because I'm not used to offensive Mega Scizor in Ultra Sun and Moon, but let's see how it ends up going. KYUREM Black is the next member of the team. They work really well together. KYUREM Black is a Pokemon that can deal with Heat Rain. As you guys can see, we do have Earth Power. We're naive, max speed, max attack. 4 special attack, this is the standard set. Max speed, outspeeding max speed Landorus, speed time with Jolly Zygarde, but that's not really a thing. They're typically adamant if they are anything. Even if they're Dragon Dance, they're usually adamant. Zygarde needs all the attack it can get. It's pretty busted, but Free Shock with ICMZ is a nuke, doing a ton to Pharaoh, a ton to Clef, a ton to even Magearna. Fusion Bolt into Z Free Shot actually KOs Assault Vest Magearna, which is pretty cool. We have Ice Beam as our spammable ice type attack. This allows us to deal with Garchomp, Torn, Lando, Zygarde, Bulu. It's just an attack that we can click that we don't have to waste a turn with Free Shot, or we don't have to use our nuke. Max attack also allows our Fusion Bolt to 2-hit KO Toxapex. Again, really nice for Scizor. And yeah, that's the idea behind this thing. They work really well together because Scizor can take on a lot of Pokemon that threaten KYUREM Black, mainly Pokemon like LELE, as well as Kartana, if it's like Scarf Kartana with Sacred Sword, and KYUREM Black is taking a bit of damage, things like that. Scizor can take those on. Hippowdon is the next member of the team. This is the ground type. This is the Stealth Rocker. This is the Electric Immunity, aka the ground type. This is a check to Zygarde, Mega Pinsir, Mawile. This Pokemon can check a ton of stuff in the metagame with 144 speed def. It lives +1 Twinkle Tackle from Magearna. The 112 defense and max HP allows us to take on +2 Earthquake from Landorus, +2 Return from Mega Pinsir. We can just phase them out. It's Slack Off, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, and Whirlwind. I think Whirlwind is best on this set, especially because this means with a non-defensive Scizor, we really want something that can constantly come in on Zygarde and doesn't have to fear Zygarde setting up a sub and coiling and whatnot. So a Hippo can come in and just phase it out for later, allowing the rest of the team to deal with it in the end game. Sandstream is also pretty nice because some builds are running Shedinja. Not that Shedinja is like a giant threat to this team because every single Pokemon on the team has a way of hitting Shedinja for super effective damage. And Hippo, obviously, when it comes out, it dies. But yes, I am talking about Shedinja. I'm talking about the Pokemon on 1 HP. There's a very, there's this common stall build that's running around the top of the ladder. that has a Shedinja, so this helps with that. But yeah, Hippo works really well as just a physical wall for the team and setting up rocks. Mantine is the next member of the team, works really well with Hippo because obviously Mantine is weak to electric, and Rock and Hippo resist both of those. Whereas Mantine takes on the Ice and the Water type attacks aimed at Hippo. Obviously, Ice types is neutral, but unless your name is Mammothine or opposing KYUREM Black, you're not really doing too much as an Ice type to Mantine anyway. But the HP and SpDef investment allows us to take 2 Specs Dark Pulses from Ashker Ninja after rocks, Specs Blacephalon Shadow Balls. This is also a Volcarona answer on the team with Toxic and Roost will beat it 1v1. Obviously, again, Water Absorb, so this is a Water immunity on the team. This is the Defogger as well. That is immune to spikes, T-spikes, webs, and whatnot. So it's a decent defogger for the squad. The rest was just put into defense just to up its physical bulk, allowing it to better take on Pokemon like Scizor. MAGNEZONE is the next member of the squad. MAGNEZONE is an Assault Vest member on this team with 144 speed, allowing to outspeed most variations of Mega Scizor. Max special attack with a modest nature just to increase the damage output and 112 HP. This allows us to take 2 flamethrowers from Celesteela, whereas Thunderbolt will 2-hit KO them because we're modest. Volt Switch obviously for momentum, Hidden Power Fire for Ferrothorn and Scizor. And obviously again this traps Pokemon like Skarmory too, and if they're running Shed Shell, Scizor knocks. Skarmory is one of the easiest Scizor switch-ins, or yeah, Skarmory is one of the easiest Scizor switch-ins, I said that right. So they work really well together getting rid of that. And yeah, it's also Fairy and Psychic resistant on the team. It can take Scarf Lele, Psychic, Scarf Lele is Focus Blast, Scarf Lele is Moon Blast. Focus Blast is like 61 to 70 something% to Zone. So it can take a Moon Blast plus Focus Blast. Obviously, you can't take it all at Pummeling. That's just too much. That's just too strong of a move. Unfortunately, I think there's like 97% min to this set. But the idea is to check Celesteela, check Skarmory, and allow Scizor a better time at potentially sweeping. Last but not least, we have some speed control here. We have Choice Scarf, Tapu Lele. Now, Scarf Lele might not make too much sense with a Scizor. However, it's a revenge killer. It's a Pokemon that can check Pokemon like Medicham, Greninja, things that do threaten Scizor, just offensively, and as well as checking Zygarde. And Psychic is just really spammable, especially with MAGNEZONE and KYUREM, getting rid of Steel types that Lele doesn't like, and then even Scizor knocking leftovers on Heatran, which really helps out Lele. Just click Psychic because Heatran doesn't have any more recovery besides leftovers or the rare rest set. So Psychic, Moon Blast, Hidden Power Fire, and Focus Blast. I'm not sure how many times I'll click Focus Blast. Probably never, to be honest, unless it's like a game-winning turn. But even then, I don't think the team needs me to click Focus Blast to do anything because the entirety of the team can definitely wear down Heatran if necessary. Heatran doesn't have any free switches versus this team, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll see if I change that to Psyshock or Thunderbolt or anything like that just to wear down Celesteela more. But yeah, Choice Scarfer helps revenge kill certain Pokemon as well as check Pokemon like opposing Scizor if they're max speed Scizor. HP Fire would still do a chunk, and then obviously getting up the terrain means that KYUREM can come in after and knock it out with Fusion Bolt if HP Fire does not knock it out, of course. And yeah, that's the idea behind Lele on the squad. So without further ado, let us get right into the battles. Alright guys, so we have a game and we are playing Rain as our first matchup. I like Scizor a lot in this, despite having, well, first off, Mantine is stupid in this, like really good in this game. I'm assuming it's either Z Magearna or Z Lando. If it is Z Lando, that means it's more than likely, well, Spiked Feral plus, I don't think it'd be Spiked with Stealth Rock. As far as winning this goes, I don't see a problem with leading off with KYUREM and just start clicking buttons, especially if it is Z Magearna. My opponent doesn't like Ice Beam into Freeze Shock on anything they do. Gren is more than likely just Battle Ball in this squad, and we do have Mantine to check that. Swampert, this checks that, as long as I don't bring it in on too many Ice Punches. Thank you. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. But yeah, as long as I keep Mantine healthy, I should be alright. And Magearna shouldn't be the worst of issues because Hippo can take a hit from it. It's also, you know, always a weather war, me versus my opponent, which is really, 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 really solid for me. So ideally, trapping Ferrothorn and defogging, not having to deal with hazards the entirety of this match would be really nice. But I'm going to lead off with KYUREM Black just for some early breaking. I feel like it just does so much versus my opponent. So right here, for instance, I can just safely click Ice Beam. I don't think you ever sack Pelipper in a matchup where I have it a Pout on and you will lose the Rain. That's just it. So I'll go for Ice Beam. I'm assuming Pharaoh or Magearna will want to come out. As he ends up going out to Magearna. Magearna takes 17, so that's way too much damage if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to calc it just to make sure, but I don't believe that's Assault Vest, especially when you have Pharaoh Thorn on the squad. That should be offensive. Magearna, oh, you shift gear. Yep. 58 to 69%. So it could be all out pummeling on my opponent's part. Ice Beam or Twinkle Tackle. I think it's just shift gear 2 attacks. I'm going to go out to Hippo just to get up the sand and also just to scout for what Magearna wants to go for, as we are able to tank the Flare Cannon right there, and I can just slack off if my opponent wants to go out to Pelipper. Either way, I end up at 100% with my Hippo, and yeah, like I said, that shouldn't be anything that can really take me on as he goes Pharaoh Thorn. Now, even though Swampert is a decent switch-in that my opponent can make here, I'm always going to go MAGNEZONE. Actually, I'll make it on my rocks because I don't want him going Swampert for free, and there was no way he was going for Power Whip. At worst, he was going for knockoff. So this allows me to get in my Mantine, just making sure that my Mantine can take 2 hits, because that's really important. Because if I could take multiple Ice Punches, the great thing about Ice Punch is that I can obviously Scald if I get frozen. But yeah, I do want to make the Mantine play. And getting up rocks just to pressure Magearna, pressure Greninja and whatnot, as he ends up going for the Stealth Rock of his own. We're going to defog immediately, as I can get up rocks later. And by him going out into Magearna leads me to believe that my opponent may just be T-Bolt. Flare Cannon T-Bolt Focus Blast is something I think that my opponent might be. We'll go Hippo, just because, again, it's meant to take every hit, as he goes right for his Z. What the hell? Is that Modest? I thought it's supposed to take a +1 Twinkle Tackle. I swear it was supposed to take a... That's what I said in the calcs. That's what it literally said in the calcs. That's a little annoying. I didn't expect to take that much. The great thing is that I don't need Hippo besides just setting up sand, but obviously setting up rocks would be nice too, which I can get it on Pharaoh Thorn. So we'll get in Scizor now. In the late game, it's really good here, but I mainly like it for its ability to pivot in on Magearna. Now that I have Mega Evolve, I can actually pivot in on Magearna a little bit better. I'm fairly positive that that is Z-Mag, especially because it was rocks on Pharaoh Thorn. I'm actually going to go for knockoff here. I think this is Scarflando, just based on what we've seen. And getting rid of Pelipper's Damp Rock is incredible. Like I couldn't have asked for a better turn right there. So, Defog, U-turn, Roost, Scald. I don't think you have a way of touching my Mantine, even if you U-turn. Yeah, because as long as Mantine's at 100, we're good. As he goes Mag. Once again, I am really worried about Thunderbolt. I just need to hit off on Mantine. So what I got to do is stop playing a little bit more defensively and get in LELE just to click once on Mantine. But we'll go Scizor here, as he goes for T-Bolt. Doesn't do much. I'll be able to live. He obviously already went for his Z, so we know it's the... I'm pretty sure the Lando Scarf. Yeah. Okay, so we're good here. I'm positive this is Flare Cannon, Focus Blast, Shift Gear, Thunderbolt now. Like that's what I'm looking or leaning towards, excuse me, as far as the matchup itself goes. As he goes for Focus Blast, doesn't get a split off drop immediately, which is fantastic. I would start SDing up, but I need Scizor to be healthy because it's my main switch into Magearna. Once Magearna takes another hit, it's basically a wrap. And we'll go MAGNEZONE to Pseudo Trap right here. It doesn't trap the best. It does allow my opponent to get up spikes. However, once Rain is gone, this means I can start clicking Psychic a little bit easier. I'm just going to skip turns real quick. He's going to get up all his layers, but this is fine. Because he also doesn't know if I'm Scarf or not, just based on the damage I was doing. So he doesn't know what set I am necessarily. So I'll easily be able to defog, and he might even go Pelipper now, allowing me set defog. Because he might go Pelipper to U-turn out. Ends up going Mag. which Focus Blast is going to do a ton from. If I sack Hippo, he gets the setup anyway. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Hippo. Ideally, he doesn't shift gear here because of my set. I'll die to Focus Blast 100%, right? Yeah, there's no problem. There's no point in calculating that. Okay, the best place to allow him not to shift gear himself is to go for Thunderbolt here. That's the best play to hopefully put him in range of Scizor. And I unfortunately get a para, which is not what I was going for. He should still be faster than me, though. That was not what I was going for at all. But I couldn't allow him to shift gear, and me sacking Hippo. I couldn't allow him to shift gear and me sacking Hippo, as that would have just... that would have given him a free +1 for no reason. 51, so that means he's 0 HP. Hey Scizor, you want to show me why I made you max offensive, or why you're max offensive? 35 to 41. Yeah, that's why you're max offensive. Hell yeah. And the rest of his team literally loses to Mantine at this point. So, should be good. We should be really good right now. Yeah, rest of his team literally loses to Mantine. You're probably going to Dark Pulse here. I'll sack Hippo as it doesn't necessarily matter, and I can get a Mantine after and just defog. Yep. Defog away these spikes, so my KYUREM Black doesn't have to deal with them as well. KYUREM can literally take a hit from everyone on his team too. So as long as I don't get extremely hacks to death, which it looks like may be possible here, that should be good. So again, I need a defog just to allow my LELE, allow my KYUREM and everything to come in. But my opponent has to actually flinch me to death. And this is also good because it means I can land Toxic now. Shouldn't miss due to the evasion drop. Nice. Once I land Toxic on Grin, it's a wrap. Or Pelipper, that works too. Because U-turn, Roost, Defog, Scald, I'm like fairly confident you do not have Toxic, but I don't think there's a point in me risking that, so I'll go Scizor here. Like I'm 1,000% sure you do not have Toxic, but because my win con is literally Mantine, yeah, you don't have Toxic. No, you no. That you don't. That's just it. You don't have Toxic. You don't. Period. That's like early meta type stuff. Lanners comes out as it probably should. More than likely gonna go for Stone Edge. I think it's, like I said, it's Scarf. As it goes for U-turn. Every single time you bring a Pelipper, you're just letting yourself get weakened. I can actually start SDing up with my Scizor. I really don't care if I get Scald Burn either, because I can just knock Lando at the end of the game and KYUREM can beat it 1v1. And Mantine's always safe. Like, because you're getting no net damage on me, right? If the guy wants to start playing like this, maybe Explosion, but I'll always go Scizor. Explode with your Lando so I don't have to deal with it, please. And Mantine's fine because, again, he doesn't do too much. Defog one more time. Please don't freeze me. Thanks. Roost. As he goes Pelipper. I know this is a little bit long and repetitive, but why choke away a win, you know? Why throw away a win right now? I'm not throwing away my Mantine. And I'm also fairly confident that this is U-turn HP Ice. Yeah, I'm not going Mantine either there. Sorry, buddy. Well, glad I didn't go Mantine. It's okay, dude. As long as it's not Mantine. Now I'll go Mantine because you might get up rocks. The annoying thing is, like, I keep going Mantine on the rocks, but I think I'm just going to stand on Lando. I've had enough. So LELE plus KYUREM will win the game with Moonblast spam anyway into my Z. So I guess that's fine. I've had enough. You're going for U-turn anyway, and nothing you go for will kill me. I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm not even trying to impatiently. I'm just trying to win. Give me a Mon. Yeah, give me KYUREM. Give me Lando, and it's superpower too. So great. So we no longer have to deal with Lando, which means my opponent can no longer pivot into Scalds. I think the play is to go LELE, which will guarantee live, a Dark Pulse, and allow me to click Moonblast here, forcing my opponent to sack Pelipper. Forcing my opponent to sack Pelipper. Yep. Great, only 2 more turns of rain left. Not sure why this came out. Yeah, I think he misclicked there. But you also just gave me damage on the Swampert as well, which is pretty cool. And now you can take KYUREM Black from me. At this point I just click Scald because if he freezes me it'd be annoying. But if I get the, once I get the Scald damage off on Pert, I win the game with... what's it called? Water, excuse me, Moonblast anyway, so I'm good. I can just defog here. Ah, look at Mantine coming through in this game. Not bad. Yeah, sorry, dude. No reason for you to get up rocks in this game. I mean, again, I'm Scarf, so I don't really think I'll lose, but... Ah, look at Lord Mantine coming through. The reason I went LELE, like I said, is because I didn't want to bring him... I wanted to... good game, dude. It's over, so I'll take a good... I wanted to lessen the amount of times that my opponent needs to flinch, or raise the amount of times my opponent needs to lock me, right? So if I bring in Mantine on a Dark Pulse, and it does 20-something%, right? That means my opponent needs 1 less flinch in order to beat my Mantine 1v1. But look at Lord Mantine coming through in the first game. Not even bad. Alright guys, so we got another battle, and I'm playing this dude again. He typically leads like Breloom and goes from there. KYUREM Black is fantastic in this, but as far as winning goes, he does have a Mega Gyarados. I know because I've fought him before. So if I force that thing to Mega Evolve and weaken, and also weaken the Assault Vest Entei, I know his team specs this. I don't know what type of Dawn fan that was. LELE can definitely late game sweep, I feel. And even Scizor if I just weaken this and this. So we're going to lead KYUREM because he usually leads Sash Breloom. As leads X-Plow, that's completely fine. That gives me a KO. Turn 1, completely fine with that. Like, yeah, it literally gives me a KO turn 1. This thing is a monster to switch into, so I am glad with you giving me your X-Plow there. As he's going to go out to Mimic You. I do have Fizz Def at Powdon, which is completely fine here too, because if he wants to go for SD, his Z shouldn't knock me out. But maybe it will. So I'm actually going to go Mantine and sack it to the Z. I think Mantine's pretty expendable here. What? Okay. Like, what type of play? Thankfully, I lived that. I have no idea why he SD'd again in front of a Hippowdon. But thankfully, I lived that, so I'm able to bust his sub. If I were him and I had a Z move, I click it there because Hippowdon can go for Whirlwind. You weakening Hippowdon opens up that door for Entei, but you know what? Completely fine because I'm going to bring out my offensive Scizor and just click Bullet Punch. As long as Mimikyu Disguise is busted, it's not that good versus me. He brings out Dawn Fan. Is it Fire Fang Rocky Helmet? I think Hippo is still completely fine here too. That's just rocks. Cool. Get up our own rocks, force him to spin later. We actually break the Sash on Breloom, which is fantastic. And as far as expendable members go, I think that MAGNEZONE is definitely the most expendable, as he goes for Bullet Seed. And basically this allows me to bring out my LELE and just start clicking buttons with it. So you can go ahead and knock me out, dude. He doesn't even knock me out, which is great. This might KO with the, yeah, with just in general. Nice. So he might even go Gyarados, I was going to say, and maybe think I'm like choice in some sort of way, but we'll just Flash Cannon as he has Ice Shard to knock me out. I am allowed into my LELE now, and I can click Psychic, which will get Gyarados in, and force it to Mega Evolve, I can bring out Hippowdon, click Whirlwind, and then I just Moonblast spam from there, plus KYUREM Black wins. So that's like, again, Lele should be able to win at the end game with Moonblast. Because you're forcing the Gyarados, you're forced to Mega, I get in my Hippowdon, I just phase you out immediately. Hippo can also, first off, Waterfall does 51%. This is neutral Waterfall, so this will do about 70%. And even if he flinches me, or 80 I guess, even if he flinches me, which would be annoying, I do have Scarf Lele in the back to click Moonblast, so. Also, I know for a fact this is Assault Vest, which means we bring out KYUREM Black. I click Fusion Bolt to put you in range of Moonblast, and then I believe I sweep you. Maybe E-Speed will knock me out, who knows? Nope. Doesn't knock me out. Because Mimikyu is more than likely going to come out, what I can do is just to make it so I win with Lele, because I don't know the damage calc on. I don't know the damage calc on what's it called? It's not Sub Gyarados either. I don't know the damage calc on Moonblast versus Mimikyu. But in order to prevent Gyarados from obviously setting up multiple times, I sack KYUREM to rocks and I come in with Lele and win the game. Last time I played him, he was Earthquake, not Sub. I'd be very sad if this is actually Sub now. Yeah, Dragon Dance doesn't matter. It's also kind of crazy because I didn't show knockoff when we played last time either, so I could have been U-turn there. But either way, Scarf Lele just comes in and clicks Moonblast and I win the game. I'm sure if I calc the attack versus Mimikyu, I didn't even press it, I would have known if Moonblast KO'd, and then that would have obviously taken into account if he actually changed it to a substitute Dragon Dance Gyarados, because it wasn't Sub DD when I played it last time. I played him a couple times in this, if I'm not mistaken. His team is really cool. Just a bunch of, I'm sure they're just his favorites and whatnot, and you know, they sometimes tend to work out for him. But I'll pause it, guys, until we find a battle. Bear back. So in this game, I really like Zone's ability to trap everything when paired with when paired with knockoff Scizor. So he does have a Metachamp, and unfortunately that means he gets a kill versus my team on lead preview, so I'm pretty much forced to lead Lele. But game plan wise, I'm gonna go Zone here, just in case if he's not Scarf, he might switch out into, and it's Scarf. Okay, so game plan wise, I think SD Scizor can win this game once I trap Celesteela. And I'm unfortunately in a position where I kind of have to go Lele here. And I hate that because Metachamp is just that type of Pokemon that just forces so many switches. So he shouldn't stay in. Obviously I could be Scarf. He should switch out into potentially Chansey, Lando, I mean not Chansey, but Chansey or one of his steals, and I want the opportunity to get up rocks. I don't mind sharing rocks with him either. No, I'm a nice guy. I'm assuming Ferrothorn might want to come out, or he might go for Toxic. My Z Lando does get a KO too. Oh, Whirlwind. See if I can force out maybe something like Gren to go for Ice Beam or something and not Metachamp. Oh, okay. That's cool. Lando's role in this game is a pivot into everything. However, I mean, Hippo's role is a pivot into like something like Lando. But if I do get the Earthquake damage off on Metachamp, I put him in range of an unboosted Bullet Punch. So he's gonna he doubles instead of Leech Seeding there. So he definitely doesn't have Earthquake. I just Whirlwind, like I said. I can't go into MAGNEZONE because he will beat me 1v1 with Leech Seed Recovery. At least on that Mon. Not this Mon, though. Well, this Mon can beat me 1v1 too. But getting rid of this means that Lele gets the click button, so I don't mind weakening him of HP Fire, especially because it's a 2-hit KO. Well, I'm so used to Timid HP Fire versus Modest. Hey, don't get a double. Thanks. Woo! Okay, so we can defog away those hazards. However, he will be able to bring out Metachamp. No? What? Good. Whoa, really? Of all things, he clicks Hydro Pump. Doesn't KO me, by the way. Does not KO me, so gives me Greninja. So, I'm assuming that was Scarf Gren, which is like based on what that's what I was thinking. So, I thought if he U-turned, he might try and go out into, because I was locked into HP Fire, he might try and go out to Chansey, which I could defog on. But I'll take it. Whatever. I don't know. That man, the Assault Vest on Mag was clutch. Also, I didn't expect him to have Hydro Pump on a potentially Scarf Gren. Once I saw Torrent, I wasn't as worried though, because basically While Celesteela is annoying as well for Scizor, my ICEM-Z claimed the KO there with KYUREM, no matter what. Ideally it'd be on Chansey, so that way I could just click Psychic, or Moonblast rather, with my Scarf LELE. I don't know. That game was weird. I'll pause it, guys, until we find another battle. Be right back. Never mind. So typically this is Sash Lando plus a bunch of setup, but he has a Victini and a Porygon, so I'm not sure which one is Z. I'm assuming maybe it'd be Trick Room Victini plus Z Porygon, because otherwise Porygon is useless. I'm going to leave KYUREM because it's faster than Lando and I can Ice Beam twice to KO it. And then if he brings out the Ninetales, and he has Mega Tyranitar too, like I can go Hippo and prevent the Veil. So as far as winning this goes, SD-SCIZOR is super nice if I can get rid of Victini. If this is Final Gambit or V-Create, I'd rather Mantine go down. I'd much rather Mantine go down, I feel, as he brings out Ninetales. Main reason behind that is that at least Mantine, and I think that's, I think that's Scarf, 11%. I feel like that's Scarf. Let me be sure though. That's not my set. I have some defense. Yeah, that's Scarf. Okay. So, Freeze Dry should not 2-hit KO Powdon because Ninetales is super weak. Yeah, no overall veil for you. Get my rocks up. Pressure Victini. And again, it basically helps me towards an end game with SD-SCIZOR if Victini gets pressured by rocks. That gives me a free MAGNEZONE. Nothing wants to switch in on Flash Cannon on his team. I don't mind if he defogs. Again, nothing wants to switch in, excuse me, on Flash Cannon. As he goes Landers. Maybe Landers wants to switch in on Flash Cannon. 55%, not bad. This should be his rocker. So I'll go KYUREM. Now what this does is it prevents, it deals with the double into Victini, because I shouldn't go down to V-Create. And I'm a Fusion Bolt here, because he's Scarf. He's not Scarf? What? So that's just not non-choice damage. Okay, so I mean, that makes sense too. But either way, that helps me out in my end game, and I always go Hippo here. That really does help me out in my end game of winning with SD-SCIZOR, especially with Landers being weakened. Ooh, get on my rocks there. Let's go Zone, because that doesn't give him an opportunity to set up with anything if I go Zone. Don't freeze me. Nice, didn't even Encore, so I Volt Switch to get out of there. And this allows me into my Hippo. And the reason Hippo is great is because any setup Mon he wants to bring out, I can just phase out. I also take on Victini naturally. And if he wants to defog, cool. You get rid of my rocks, but I don't really care. Not a giant problem. You are wasting... Basically, he's wasting Veil turns, which is what I'm going for. There's Flash Cannon. Multiple times. He only has 2 more turns of Veil, so... And I always Volt Switch here, even if he goes Lando, because I can't allow this monster to come out for free. Yup. I'm fairly confident this kills you through Veil, so I'm not even going to let Hippo take the damage, because Hippo being healthy means it beats these two for Scizor. It's like I'm fairly confident this will still KO you through Veil. Yep. Nice. So that's the Zmon gone. SD-SCIZOR wins when it comes out. However, because he went Tyranitar, I always go Hippo. I think Earthquake is better than phasing, because he shouldn't be able to 2-hit KO me. Oh, and I get an unfortunate crit from my opponent. Super unfortunate. In fact, it's so unfortunate that I can slack up back to... Oof, never mind. I cannot slack up back to full. So I was going to say, I can slack up back to full, sack Zone, and then basically bring out Scizor and BP. But he gets a higher roll on me. Oh well. Every single time you bring out Victini, a Pokemon with no recovery, it becomes that much easier to win with first off Moonblast and also I think that's Adamant Victini because KYUREM out's better, right? Yo, KYUREM just wins. So I'll sack Zone. KYUREM actually just wins. Moonblast and also just obviously BP from Scizor. So Bolt strikes me. I hope that's locked. Just Adamant locked. I was wrong. Fusion Bolt will knock you out. If you go Lando, Lando can't knock me out. Gives me Tyranitar as well. Nice. So that also means I can kind of click Psychic, which is stronger than Moonblast in this case, even if he does have Victini. It might be AV Victini. I kept Mantine alive, by the way, just in case it... Okay, interesting. I know I'm faster than you. And it is AV Victini. Cool. Don't know why I didn't Fusion Bolt there. That was my bad as well. I just talked about it being... So that was not a throw, but just a misplay on my part. Either way, I do not see a reason to not go Scizor. I was thinking about LELE, but I can keep it to get up the terrain later. Especially because it's defog on everything. This is not a counter. Yeah, sorry, my friend. You are 2-hit KO'd. This is the perks of offensive Mega Scizor. And Psychic about to beat you. I like Scizor as well because I can knock off the Feeny. So it prevents it from getting any recovery. He can't burn me under his own terrain. And then again, I just spam BP a couple times till I win with Psychic. Nice. Does he have taunt? He hasn't clicked it. Maybe he doesn't have taunt as any of his moves. I'm gonna click SD. Even though it doesn't make a difference because I mean I win the game no matter what, like, even if I'm burnt. But I don't. So offensive Mega Scizor are able to come through here. Nice. Go ahead and look for another one. That's cool. That game wasn't too hard. He did have Hail and Ninetales, which was really nice. I like that he predicted, or at least went for it at a point. That's actually... Hippowdon's like the only sand setter that you could actually successfully get off Hail with Ninetales on. Otherwise, when it's in. Otherwise, you have to go for it on a prediction, for example. Like if Tyranitar comes in, you're not setting Hail on T-Tar for free. You're not getting in on T-Tar for free. But I guess I'll just pause it, guys, till we find another battle. Bear back. Instantly, I got a battle versus another Veil team. Manaphy is a pain to deal with. Ideally, my Mantine just beats it 1v1. Scizor is another mon that in late game is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I love KYUREM-B Black as a lead, mainly because it just threatens everything. Doesn't fear Coco unless it's Z, which I don't think it should be on his build. We'll go Hippo. See if he freeze dries or Moonblast. Nope, just sets up Veil. Safeguard doesn't matter either because I'm able to get on my rocks. And if he does end up going for Hail or something, I can bring in Scizor now, which I doubt he has Hail. It's freeze dry, yeah. Nice. So no real BP switch-ins besides the... Wow, that barely took that. That's incredible. I'm assuming this is sub as well. Now the only downside behind this is that if I get in Ninetales, he obviously gets up Veil, but we're gonna Whirlwind him. I'm assuming he's that I Papa Berry subset, yeah. Let's see if he gets in Lucha, which is cool. I'll go LELE because LELE can take a hit. LELE doesn't need to be healthy in this game, and he should go for a jump kick here if anything. Yep. And now he doesn't have a Psychic switch-in. Yeah, that is not a Psychic switch-in. So that was the idea behind that, getting it in. Again, we're going for a late game Scizor sweep as well. As long as I... Probably U-turn here if anything. But, okay, or he goes for that. That doesn't matter. I get on my rocks again. And he's Life Orb too, so he's guaranteed in range now of Scizor, which I think he was before, to be fair, but that's fine. Don't know if you can really touch Mantine, however... If you're Z Rain Dance, obviously that's a problem. Otherwise, if you're Hydro Vortex, I should be able to beat you 1v1 just with Toxic and Recover spam. What? Never mind. Yo, I just got Mantine myself. That's funny. Okay, well, unless your last move is Rest and your tail goes Psychic, Toxic Rest, which is the ultimate anti-Mantine set. Anti-Mantine? That's funny. By keeping Zone at 100%, by the way, which I believe it is, right? Yep. I have a nice check to Zam as well besides BP. Because I gotta be careful because my own terrain could be annoying. So I'll allow him to knock me out here with what I'm hoping to be poison. No, it doesn't. So we 1v1 the Manaphy, which is great. Only threat to Hippo. Everything else doesn't beat it. I don't care if you knock me out. I go for Toxic here. and I'm able to get up my rocks. My Mantine does not matter in the long run. Everything is set up for BP Scizor sweep almost. However, we can just bring out my Hippo just to be safe and get up my rocks. I'm getting up rocks over going for Earthquake because if he U-turns out to Hawlucha, at least I can phase it out. That's not a problem, dude. You can 1,000 arrows me and do your 4 damage all you want. Ideally, I get in Hawlucha. Great, so we force it to activate its Unburden, and that gives me the... everything's in range of Moonblast now. And also BP. Well, not Zygarde, but... Basically, it gives me the Whirlwind, and that means that Hawlucha does not have the Unburden later. Zam comes out. It doesn't have Magic Guard prior to Mega Evolving, for whatever reason. KYUREM Black is the most expendable member. Hippo can still literally beat these two. And I cannot lose to Hawlucha now that it can't get an Unburden. So I sack KYUREM. And I believe I just click Max Attack Bullet Punch. And if it doesn't KO, then I Moonblast win from there anyway. So, yeah, it's game. I'll click this attack just because. But yeah, I just click BP now. Should be game. They call me Max Attack Scizor. That Manaphy had Toxic. Why not just Ice Beam? Toxic is legitimately for... Okay, so Toxic hits Bulu and Mantine. I'm a Mantine. I don't know why I called myself the baby form. It hits those two, right? But I don't understand why over something like Ice Beam, which has a chance to knock out Bulu at +3 anyway. I mean, you could just run Sub-Zero Slammer if you're that worried. Okay, we go Hippo, and we just phase him out again. Phase up. I could also slack off. Why not? I can use Hippo to win the game anyway. He can't set up enough to beat me even with a... Well, if he crits me right now, whatever. But if he gets the +1, he doesn't set up and beat me. Again, I'm assuming this is Aya Papa Berry, and it was Z Manaphy. I don't know. If you're using Toxic as a way to beat Mantine and Bulu, just to wear them down, I would rather just use Sub-Zero Slammer. It also hits, you know, obviously Tangrowth. So, yeah, like I said, I would rather use Sub-Zero Slammer. I think that's just a little bit better. Why am I facing so much Veil when I'm using Hippo? Yeah, sorry, dude. Can't do crap to me. Alright, you can get out of there. If he sets up now, I mean, either way, he doesn't knock me out with Zam anymore after 1,000 arrows regardless, unless he's like Grass Knot or something like that. Surprised this dude's fighting so much. I can respect it. Respect it. Alright, well, keep fighting. Fight the good fight. Get out of there. Dude, no. No. You do not take these well at all, my man. Hippo has, I think, what is it, 108 base attack? It's 108, right? Give me that Mon. And then the Moonblast win is here. Or Hippo might just win anyway because he can't do anything to me. Boy. I'm going to keep clicking Whirlwind until I die. It literally does not matter. This is annoying. Yes, knock me out. Good. Alright, he didn't even think about, like, sacking it by clicking Defog and getting in Zygarde to set up, because that's like the only mon on my team besides Magnezone which you set up safely on. Either way, I just go out into LELE here and I click Moonblast and that should be game, like I've been saying the entire time. This is how the end game I was going for, either this or Scizor. I could have played it quicker and just set up an SD with Scizor at a point, probably on Hawlucha and won. But I'm also not that bulky of a Scizor, so I don't know. Sunghulpo. How it says? Sunghulpo. What does that mean? Probably Google that at some point. Alright, nice. Well, don't know where we're... Man, I feel like we haven't been progressing at all. That last episode was nasty. So this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. It should say to the top aim up here. I gotta reset the ladder because it didn't. Thank you everybody for being patient with this as well. Like I'm not uploading on the weekends because I'm trying to chill on the weekends, which loses me about 20 points every week because of the fact that I'm only 1867. That's nasty. I mean, that's not bad, but like that's not good either after all the time we've been doing it. All right. I got to decide what team I want to use. So I have this one build that I've been making. I was thinking about using it for Blunder's tournament because I really like how it's coming out. But it's also just 4 Pokemon currently. It's kind of unique though. Maybe if I finish it up and polish it a little bit, I'll bring it for the road to top 10. But in any case, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. This team ended up only doing well in this episode because it got a lot of losses while I was trying to get back points. I'm not gonna lie, I practiced a lot with this team. And I practice on my account because there's no point in not if I'm dipping or losing points. Because I think the way decay works is if you don't get 5 games a day, you lose. This is like 5 points every hour. It's something stupid like that, right? Or like you lose like 10 points or 6 points plus your GXC. I have no idea the way it works. Someone in OLT told me, but yeah, this team was fun. We got a lot of good matchups while I'm actually recording, which makes me happy because a lot of them were just scary while I was testing it out. But hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like. See you guys next time with another episode. Goodbye, friends.